Big love to Zest.
As I'm sure he does you.
Big love to Zest.
Oh yeah, big love.
I mean, what's incredible about this is we have like one of the best looking Korean StarCraft 2 pros in the house playing right now with one of the best looking foreign StarCraft 2 former pros casting him.
Yeah, okay.
All right, here we are.
Okay.
For map number 1, we're going to be on King's Cove, and it's Lambo here in the top left, representing Clash and Germany. And his opponents, one of the most handsome people in StarCraft, because
Behind you,
anyway.
behind you, mate, behind you.
It is Zest. All right, what do you know about current PvZ, Bling?
Okay, so I can't lie. I don't know much about it these days. I know that the norm is the first expansion.
But units-wise?
Units-wise, I couldn't even tell you. I honestly couldn't even tell you.
Back when you played, what was it?
It was HOTS, I think. You didn't play Legacy of the Void, right?
You did?
No, I didn't. I didn't play the beta or anything.
Yeah.
Were you from a time when it was like Oracle harass into like mass Blink Stalker and Sentries and stuff?
Yeah,
or?
Colossus and all that.
What, blinking on the high ground and everything?
Or just against Zerg, like you'd Oracle harass, kill a few drones, then you do like a full 3-base Stalker Sentry timing and stuff. Yeah, like around Lil.
Yeah,
Baguette PvZ.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all I knew, really. Before
that's kind of all you need to know now, Bling. Like,
is it still that? Is it?
No, I mean, it's changed a bit. Like, Protoss throw out a lot of stuff, so Adepts came into the fray. Like, this is a unit that can shade about and be like a real nuisance. Zerg tend to win the late game, but Protoss have a lot of ways of like just stopping them from ever getting there. Like Immortal pushes. Immortal's changed entirely.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
so I'd say that I've seen a few games today, and I've seen a lot of warp prisms. So
they're pretty good.
Talk to me about warp prisms, because I feel like they're super quick these days. I feel like they're zooming around the map. And what's that about?
They can pick up units from like a sick range. Actually, that's the most annoying thing about Prism right now, is that you can harass with 2 Archons and basically never lose any Archons while doing so, while not losing your Prism to Queens, because you just like scooch around the base but never get too close and still can pick up the Archons. So it's pretty amazing, actually. It's an amazing unit.
You imagine Bling back when you played, they're like, hey, that Warp Prism, it can now like make your whole army have Blink,
Yeah.
That's basically what they did. But I mean, it does, like, without it, I don't know what Protoss would actually do against Zerg, honestly. Like, if you're trying to pick up your Archons and stuff on the harass and it's like 9 range Queens at you, like, you'd have no chance otherwise.
We got the Dark Shrine coming.
You'll see it.
Zest.
Yeah.
And
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if it's Dark Templars or Archons. Usually more often than not, you're going to make 2 Archons very early on, so you can try to swipe away at some of these drones and take them out.
How common are Dark Shrines these days?
PvZ, pretty common, because you want to do that Archon harass, and you'll make 4 DTs.
It forces spores, so it kind of does both.
Right.
It's like a threat on the ground that forces spores for detection a lot of the time.
It's a bit of a double whammy as well. So it's less gas than High Templars, so they serve a double purpose. They force the spores, then you can morph them into Archons, and Archons are sick and harassing. So it's mainly about the Archon transition. But you end up pretty like safe behind it as well. Like there's no way for a Zerg to harass you unless he has an Overseer with a group of links and stuff. So you got to put a safe 3rd base behind it. It's just a stable opening.
I mean, Protoss versus Zerg, the name of the game is still somewhat the same in that you need to slow down their economy. It's always been like that. You can't let a Zerg drone up to 70, 80 drones, because otherwise you're basically dead. So it's still the same. You still need to be very aggressive, and nowadays, I guess the tools are maybe a little bit different. You got more Adepts here that we're seeing some of these trying to synergize with some Dark Templars. A little bit uncommon here. A lot of the time, players, they're going to go for Archons, but
it's going to deal a little bit of damage, and you'll see he's going to pick up those DTs as soon as they're like in danger. And the Adepts actually shaded to the natural, and that's a lot of drones that are already going down. That's pretty bad for Lambo. Already 6 drones going down, and I think the Prism went to the main now.
Dude, this is super bad.
Really
for Lambo.
crazy.
We see the supplies are fairly close here, as people point out, but 36 workers currently to 47. Like, this was a damn good harass. Normally you don't do this with the addition of the Adept, and it's still carrying on. Like, he's so ballsy with these DTs.
Yeah, this game really fast. It kind of feels like Lambo wasn't ready. He didn't have the roaches quite yet, and then as soon as the first queen start getting caught,
I only lost 1 DT the whole time.
Yeah.
And now it's Archon drop time. It's going to go for another DT, probably is going to run by it to the natural. Actually, Mapu, it's a best of 5, my man.
Oh!
Damn. Damn, man.
I love every time we get Funker on here, he's always calling out Mapu. He's like, Mapu, you know, back in my day, we couldn't make these mistakes. You know?
I would get fired instantly. Oh my God, those drones. Okay, he's gonna get the queen first. Actually gonna take the fight to the roaches. And as you can see, he's not taking that many risks, you know? Like he's just harassing. That Archon is like low on a shield. Oh, he messed up.
That's a big deal though. So like normally these Archons are never ever meant to, well, they get hurt, right? But like they regenerate their shield. The fact that he lost one entirely, Lambo's gonna be smiling about this. I mean, he still dealt a little bit of damage, but there's now light at the end of the tunnel for Lambo.
All right, Bling. Share some crazy stories with us. You were in Ibiza for so long.
Oh.
I want to hear some stuff, like some partying. I came to visit you in Ibiza, actually.
I know you did.
Remember I touched a jellyfish? Like
remember when we went
on a jet ski tour.
Yeah.
And then like at some point we reached like a beautiful creek and like the guide is like, yeah, if you want, you can go for a swim and stuff. I go in the water, it felt like I got electrocuted, dude. Like, it hurt so much, yeah.
Oh.
And then I told Bling, and his reflex was to put his head underwater to try and spot it. I'm like, bro, like,
I thought he was joking. I
wasn't joking.
As soon as the guy says, yeah, you can go in the water, and then Talk goes in the water, and then he's like, yeah, I just got stung. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, nice friend.
I remember Todd telling me the story. He's like, Bling's a freaking psychopath, man. Like, I told him I got stung by a jellyfish. He instantly went under the water, started trying to find this thing to beat up. I don't know what.
That's really sick.
I just wanted to see what was going on.
Okay, looking at this game, that's going to be a rough hold for Lambo. He's actually supply block, 105 supply against 111, and there's a Spire that seems a little bit greedy. I see why he goes for it, because if he gets some Mutalisk on the map, then suddenly he puts some of the pressure back to Zest, but he could die literally at any moment. Zest is just not attacking for now, though.
I guess one of the really cool things for Lambo is he's got that Spire on the way. I don't know if it's been spotted yet. There are two hallucinations running in here. That Spire is at the back of the main base, and this is one of those things where you really want to bamboozle your opponent. He's going to see it, and he does spot it. And by the way, cannons were already going down before he even spotted that. Yeah. So
it's like, where did you guys go? It's not enough for Ravagers, no transitions. You're not even trying to push. You're not maxing out, so you must be building Mutalisk right now.
At this point, the Zerg, like, he's been getting kind of bullied a little bit, right? So his worker count's way lower. So now he wants to deal some economic damage with those mutas. But it's really, really tough because his main army isn't really getting any stronger. And Zest, he doesn't really look like he's super opting for any late game strategy.
Shield batteries are a big game changer against mutas. Like, they help so much. Like, I remember when we just used to have the cannons, it was like, you know, so sad. You could even have like sometimes 2 cannons. Mutas would just still fly in there and then kill a bunch of pros. But now with shield batteries, like, those guys change everything, really. Even just the one like this.
It's definitely going to be helpful. I mean, he's got good static defense at home. Lambo behind this, by the way, he's not really been droning up too much. He's just making pure units. So I don't know if he's like anticipating this move out by Zest or... Either way, go for an infestation pit. That is his tech of choice here.
I'm curious, Bling, watching this, does this make you want to play? Do you get the itch?
You know what? So when I used to play, I felt like if Zerg had mutas, they would kind of be in control of the situation. They would kind of be in control of like the game flow and everything like that. So.
No, I mean like just watching the tournament here and being at home story.
Oh yeah.
Did you do it? You're like, I
you know what? It is good to be back. When I was speaking to Take earlier, I didn't actually realise how long it has been, but I think the first home story that I came to was HomeStoryCup 4. And it's HomeStoryCup 19.
Wow.
And that is a long time. Very long time, so it's good to be back and kind of seeing everyone again playing, and it's good to see the old faces and the new faces as well. There's so many new faces about. I mean, Rainer, Cyril, everyone doing really, really good. And
there is a lot of new faces, but there's also a sick fight going on here. So Lambo...
Oh my god, this mutas just melted.
Mate, his whole army got obliterated there. The Banelings didn't have the speed, and, you know, we talked about Zest, he's probably going for that push, and he just slammed down Lambo.
Yep, GG.
You know,
game 2 Zest.
It was pretty cool talking with Bling earlier. So, like, he was pretty sure that he beat me more than him, and I was like, oh, maybe I beat you more than
Nah, you can't say that. We weren't sure. We weren't sure.
Can't Aligulac answer that for a fact?
Aligulac answered it.
Oh, snap. All right, let's see.
I mean, I don't want to surprise you.
Is Bling too old school for Aligulac?
No, he's on there, mate.
For who?
They logged everything.
For Aligulac.
What's that?
It's a website that tracks everything in StarCraft and actually builds like some kind of... ranking in a way.
Oh, you can't get
I see you here. Blink. The Muslim.
All
right.
Oh, wow.
Is this something we can show on the stream at all?
50%, man.
Oh,
Can we show
50%. It's 9
It's
and
a
9.
tie.
You guys have to play the last map,
It's an absolute tie.
but you have to arm wrestle or something.
3 and 3 in series, 9 and 9 in maps.
It's
How
not
tight is it?
it's not often you find a series between two players that is so identical, you know.
Right, big love, Ben. Big
So
love.
when we talked about this, we were like, "Oh, mate, that's awesome!" Like, you know, because I remember if I ever did well, I'd always hear about Bling doing really well somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh yeah, Demuzzin beat NXT," and it's like, "Well, Bling beat Paul on the." I'm like, "Oh God, come on!"
Oh, I remember that show match. The War of the Roses.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, do we remember that? Do we remember?
Oh, I remember this. one as well.
2012. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so old.
It is so old. It is
And
so
5
old.
and 4 in score. That was like super close.
Damn.
We were looking back at a WCG group as well, where he went 6-0 with you in it, Todd.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I kind of want to see
I remember
Todd
that.
results right here.
Yeah, that was. You know what? I remember what map we played even. Do you remember? I
What,
remember.
WCG?
Yeah, I remember my draw. I got like Strelok on Antigua Shipyard. I was just like, kill me now. And then I got you. I was like, there is only one map I don't want in PvP. Fucking Tal.
What, and that was it?
Tal Darim Altar, bro.
Did we actually play?
Yeah,
We actually
we
played.
played Tal Darim Altar, the 4-gate map. And I was like, I hate this map. And then I
Against the
forget
king
it
of
and he held it. And I was
Foregate
like,
as well.
please, like.
now.
My bad.
No, it was good for you, I guess. Did you advance in that or?
Yeah. I went to the
Top 8.
quarterfinals.
You beat Strelok?
I went to the quarterfinals. I played Killer, the Chilean Zerg.
Oh yeah.
Also on Team Dignitas at the time. Beat him, and then I went to the quarterfinals and played MVP. And then I lost.
What happened there?
No, but I did beat him the first map, and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was my first international tournament at the time, and then I choked. Nerves got the better of me, and as soon as I was 1-0 up, I thought, oh, well, I might actually win, and then I kind of choked after that. But
I'm actually beating MVP.
yeah.
Damn.
Because at the time, MVP was kind of unstoppable at the time as well.
yeah,
So it was kind of a.
The king of wings.
I mean, to this day, people talk about who's the greatest Terran of all time, and a lot of people will still bring up MVP.
Does he still play? He doesn't still play, does
No,
he?
no, no. He quit a few years ago. He was having some hand problems, actually.
Yeah, wrist issues.
Alright.
Yeah. Like,
That's a shame, man. Like so many Korean players having troubles with their wrists and hands.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
some
kinda
of the
weird,
old-
like, I feel
old
like-
school, old school players. I feel like the younger player, younger generation, I think they take it more seriously.
I don't know. I
It
think
really happen that often.
outside of Korea, people don't have that many problems.
Seija and MVP comes to mind in terms of wrist issues, but I don't
well,
know.
Terrans
about
do have to micro hard.
Yeah, we have to do more
let's be
things.
real.
Yeah, that's for
Right.
sure. That's not going to happen to a pro player. Let's be honest right here. But
Right.
but yeah,
No, like Muslim, you've never had any problem, right? And you played for the longest time. And you're completely slouched when you play. You have like... No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, I think my posture's all right when I
Yeah.
play, actually. I mean, I broke my arm a couple of times, so like I fall on that Terran bus of being a little injured, in the arms,
Yeah.
but for totally different reasons. Anyhow, we are in the second game of the series.
yes, we are.
So this is one of the new maps, Blink. So you start off with like 3 bases pretty freely, with only really 1 ground attack path into all 3 of those bases. So it's one of those maps where you tend to find both races can play way more greedy than normal.
So, like
Alright.
I said, I don't have too much experience playing Legacy of the Void, but is 3 base the kind of new thing?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah. Tell me about the economy
yeah,
back
that's
when you
right.
played. Yeah,
Like-
like was it 2 base a lot of the time or what?
I'm literally just used to 2 base kind of thing. As
Wow.
a Protoss player anyway, I'm used to 2 base.
It's going back to those days a little bit, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They do
so
like
so much change. Like we tend to forget, right? But
That's-
like even like the worker count, the initial worker count being increased,
12 and,
the way the minerals change.
Yeah.
I think it's a quarter less than it used to be on every basis. The amount of minerals that you have.
I do like that though.
Half,
I like
the
this.
patches are like half patch, so you have to expand more faster because your minerals actually expire, so you can't mine as efficiently.
so when you play Happy back in the day, yeah, you can't just camp on those 2 bases anymore.
It's not happening now.
What's happened in the game?
Oh, dude, Happy would camp on 2 base until 200 supply, like quite
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
And then he'd like fly 12 medevacs into your base trying to doom drop you. Oh, it was so annoying, man.
All right. For now, in terms of opening, it's a Stargate play from Zest. Once again, gonna go for the Oracles. Definitely get some map control, maybe a little bit of worker kills, and it's pretty fast layer by Lambo. 50 supply around that time. He's actually buying the spores that he needs for a little bit of a safer feel. Queens are already on position, so that Oracle should not do any damage. But not going to take that much itself.
Zergs are so much on point nowadays, you know, not to let these Oracles fly in and do any damage. Like, we almost never see anymore Oracles just flying in and like doing a ton.
So, oh, sorry to interrupt, but I was going to just ask Bling. So, if I want to go about being a buff vegan, where should I check out? Are there any videos out there available for me and stuff, you know?
I feel like you might want to check out my YouTube channel, to be fair, then, mate. Yeah, I got a few recipe videos on there.
What is it called?
Are very easy to make vegan recipes, just for anyone interested.
And what is it? What is it?
What is the name? Samayan K Vegan, and that's on all my social medias. But there's no kind of gaming content on there, just for anyone that used to follow me, that still remembers me. If you're not interested, don't worry about it, because that does mess up the algorithm. I did learn that from Ben.
Actually, yeah, I sent over a lot of people to his channel. I was like, check out this video, just say hi and stuff. And then Bling told me this event. He's like, well, apparently the algorithm of YouTube said this video is shit. And I was like, why? What? I had so many people tuning in just for like a quick second and then like tuned out kind of thing. So YouTube recognized this as like, they only like watched a couple of seconds of the video and then tuned out.
Yeah, that's basically.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Bling. I'm sorry, man.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know. Actually, I don't know a shitload about YouTube.
But the good intentions are there for anyone interested, for anyone that's into their kind of health and fitness and everything like that. Then it honestly is a good thing. I'm just trying to put out a positive message at the kind of time. So yeah, feel free to check it out. I appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Is there like a lot of different foods like you know how to make?
It's not even different, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people complicate it when they don't need to. So it's just kind of keeping it easy, keeping it simple.
Yeah. Interesting massing here of a ton of sentries. Looks like Zest.
Well, no third base.
Yeah. Look at this, no third base.
Yeah, you'll notice, Bling. Soul Train.
I'm far too familiar with these kind of situations. I can't lie. I like to see those mortals pumping out.
You know, you remember Parding, yeah? Like, Parding was good when you were good?
Yeah, of course. I remember.
Yeah, so he took a little bit of a break kind of thing, doing other things, but he's actually back doing really well again, which is awesome to see, you know.
He went to Army,
for
right?
GSL, I think.
Did he do the Army? I know he played a lot of weird-ass games. It was
he went to China playing mobile games for some reason.
Yeah, he played a little bit of everything.
League of Valor or something, right? Like, something very offbeat. And then he was like,
Arena of Valor.
Screw it, I'm coming back to StarCraft 2. I'm going to have one of the most entertaining Protoss streams out there where he's like, you know, talking about people no GGing against him and stuff, but it's really awesome to see him back of all people.
Yeah, I was watching him stream last night, like 4 a.m. He was there, just cranking out games. That was pretty fun. So for now, Zest is actually getting ready to push a little bit, or at least cross the map, maybe force some units out of Lambo.
This is so weird. Like, if you're a Zerg player and you're trying to scout, Zest is like no third, no third, no third. Okay, a third at like 6-minute 30 kind of thing in this matchup after you've already made 10 sentries.
Is this not an obvious 2-base time then?
I mean, like, the thing is, he's made the third as well, so Lambo...
Yeah, I don't know that he saw it, like Lambo, that is. Oh, the Prism.
If he didn't see it, it would be better for him, because he'd still be making, like, a ton of units.
He's got a unit at the top trying to scout, but, I mean...
Yeah, it's through there. But it's a little bit hard to scout as he did this, because he had the wall off on the...
Now that Lambo saw this move out, he knows, but he's already on 69 drones, and there's going to be so many force fields.
It's going to be so hard.
And he has no Ravagers.
He has no Ravagers to destroy the force field, so now... The entire army of Lambo is actually split in two, and those force fields are pretty great. He has a lot of energy to spend, and those immortals are actually going to shrek that hatchery.
I actually love the way they use the force fields to like grab the units so they actually kill them.
Yeah. Come here.
And yeah, behind this Zest, he doesn't have the sickest economy. There are a few air units grabbed here by Lambo, but the thing is, Lambo, these units are absolutely stranded here. Now, he does have a solid 3-base economy behind this. He's getting lots of Hydras out, lots of Lings, and it's not as if he's dead or anything. Oh, that's a nice grab by these ragtag units here.
Trying to catch up that one drone. What are you doing here? Go and mine something.
Oh, really? Dropping sentries on the go, trying to get some force fields out. Yeah,
I like that.
Really nice.
He went
There's
fishing.
a lot of stuff you can do with that prism, because when you're chasing units, you're actually like using the speed of the prism and the range of the pickup to actually like push and kite the units as they go. It's pretty cool.
This is definitely one of those situations though, I'm getting more and more scared for Zest, because having such a huge gateway cow army without any like good tech units, it's got no Archons. I know a Templar Archives is on the way and such, but with enough Hydroling Bane, I think you can deal with any size Gateway army.
Well, I mean, against this many sentries, though, like...
I mean, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, but it's not as Zest has super upgrades. Like, Lambo's actually +1 on range right now. Supply-wise, he's in a pretty good shape as well. It all comes down to the engagement, I suppose.
Yeah. It's not an easy win by any means for Zest right now, because he can get demolished on the next fight, and as you mentioned, like, yeah, sentries are going to be key, but the force fields, you can still mess them up, and if you just leave a hole in your defense, maybe some banelings can connect with the other sentries, get everything. And look at that army from Lambo, 112 supply against 97, no charge yet, I think, or maybe he just finished it, but he doesn't have that many zealots on the ground.
Force field's going to have to be clean.
Yeah, it has to be perfect force fields.
Oh, and the banelings do start marching in. I mean, these first force fields are very, very good, just keeping those banelings at bay. But
a bit of panic here. He used that way early, like...
Right.
If you run out of energy here and Lambo goes for the follow-up...
That's a big choke as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice counter harass as well. I mean, these oracles aren't useful in a fight at all, but if you can slow down your opponent in any sort of way, which he's doing, that just buys him more time.
He doesn't have charge still?
Yeah, he does. He finished.
Just finished, yeah. And Storm as well, okay.
Yeah. I think he earned enough time to get some Psionic Storm on the field. It's going to be tough for Lambo to actually finish the game right now, because he does have that AoE damage available now.
And I mean, that's such a hard call for Lambo to make as well. You know, he sees the High Templars in the army, he sees the force fields. Maybe he could have sort of realized, like, oh, these are way too early force fields. Like, he doesn't want to take a fight at all. I'm going to fight before Storm's done, but, you know, it's
here
hard
we
to
go.
do that.
360 attack. Banelings gonna get through. Is he out of force?
It's actually going to be tough.
Oh, yeah, no, he force fielded a lot of the chunk at the bottom here away.
Does he have still some storms left? I don't think he does. And now the Hydralisk, they actually are in range to destroy all those units, and I don't think that Zest has enough. 149 supply against 78, and that fourth base is actually going to fall. And Lambo, I think he's going to take that game pretty easily. Wow. GG. That's really nice by Lambo. Well played.
And the German takes a map back and evens up the series against Zest.
That was a sick engagement here. Came from every angle and with just the right amount of units on every front.
That's one of the things, though, about Gateway armies, right? Like, you have the Zealots, sure, they're great against the Hydras, but the Banelings counter those. The Stalkers and the Guardian Shield. And the Immortals can't really deal with the Hydras either, so... He had a lot of stuff that didn't really make too much sense later in the game, and it's because Lambo responded so well and didn't over-respond to him killing his fourth. He was just like, you know what, I'm still on 3 bases, I still got a good economy, and he just macroed up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he played really well.
Who did you keep in touch with the most from StarCraft from the old days nowadays?
Probably you, mate.
And like, what about
Illy?
Yeah, like Stefano.
We did a little bit, and then it kind of fell out. I don't know. Yeah, for a couple of years, we stayed in touch, and then I don't know. Just kind of disconnected a little bit. But
yeah.
One of the things, though, with the boys, you know, like, we might all live in different countries, but, you know, as soon as you start talking again, no matter how long it's been...
mate, honestly, that's a good thing. Like, I have it... like I said, it's been about 4 years since I've been to a StarCraft event, and it's just so good just to be back with everyone, just to see everyone again.
It's as if you never left, you know?
As if I never left. Honestly, it's so good.
We just kind of came back with a lot of tattoos.
Changed a little bit, but I'm still there. I'm still there.
I remember this one video where you did a backflip. You can still do the backflip?
Yeah, of course. Of course I can.
Oh no, this Saturday night. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah. That's my party trick.
Bling in the club after Roddy in the club. I think it's going to be amazing.
Apparently he's a bit fragile today.
Oh, Roddy?
Yeah, apparently so.
He's getting old, man.
Can't keep up.
Could he ever, though?
Could he?
Have you heard about the shirtless Roddy thing?
Shirtless Roddy?
Yeah. The people have spoken. They want Roddy to take his shirt off eventually.
Oh, what for home? Is it
for Home Story? Like they've been talking about it for many events now, and he promised he was going to do it before. Then he didn't keep his promise, and now he said for HomeStoryCup 20. So right now he's 19.
Right.
He was going to take the shirt off, and I think he even said something about taking the pants off and like being in underwear or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like apparently he's supposed to be getting.
Oh, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
20. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
So it's a massive meme. You know, you'll see people in the chat write like, "Can't hear the cast of a Roddy shirt" and like stuff like this.
Yeah.
He might need your help to get in shape.
Where you at, Kev? Just where to go, you know, that YouTube channel, you know?
Yep. That's it, Ben. That's it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Roddy's the opposite. It's like fried chicken only for him.
Roddy is all about those wings.
And those fries and mayonnaise, you know?
I've experienced that firsthand.
I can imagine Roddy watching your first video has been like, I have to give buffalo wings? Like, hell freaking no, like 5 seconds into this video. Or a Subway sandwich, you know, like he's always down about that stuff.
Damn.
All right, we're on New Repugnancy here for map 3. And Lambo actually went for the off location or like slightly remote hatchery.
Yeah, he was blocked by a super early scout by Zest. Some Zergs will actually go for like a really, really early hatchery, even though it messes up their economy a little bit, so they can take their normal natural. But
even just to win the mind game, you know?
Yeah,
when I come and block it,
pretty nice.
You're not going to be able to do it. What now? What you going to do about it?
Yeah, what you got to do about it?
You'll do nothing.
Yeah, you'll go back home with your little probe. That's what you're going to do.
By the way, are you guys a little bit surprised that this is 1-1 in this series? Or was there like an obvious favorite to you guys?
I think Zest is going to take it in the end, but like Lambo being able to take a map, like I feel like Lambo is being like as matured as a player and strategy-wise, takes the the right calls, and literally what he did last game was not panicking because he was getting bullied a little bit in the early game, and then it was just like, okay, if I make enough Hydras and Balings, I'm actually going to make him pay for going for such an early composition.
Right,
That's
okay.
what he did. He didn't go and like messed up his attack against the force fields, opened a new path, went for 180 surround, and it just worked perfectly. So I think Lambo has definitely the potential to get at least a couple of games. He already did one, but I do see Zest winning in the end.
All right, so I don't know how much of a touchy subject the balance kind of thing is at the minute, but from what I see from an outside perspective, Cyril's doing really good, Reyna's doing really good, Lambo seems to be doing pretty okay as well, and they're all Zergs. So speak to me about that.
Do you want to know who just won GSL as well?
I'd love to know.
So it was a Zerg player.
It was okay.
But you know who's been getting all the hate for all these years, Blink?
Yeah.
Protoss, man.
Of course. As
you know
always.
who's been complaining a lot in Europe?
Terrence.
The Muslim and the Terrence.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been pretty
I'm joking.
No, he's been a good boy.
It's a meme with the Muslim because he stopped competing, but before that there was definitely a lot of chatter about how hard Terrence versus Protoss was.
Of course.
And when he started casting events, everybody was like, oh my God, he's going to be so biased and stuff. And he did the opposite. He didn't complain at all.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of moments where like he broke a little bit. Which event was it? Where it was...
Katowice.
Yeah, so at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
I know what he's going to talk about.
Yeah, there was
already.
like not many Terrans left. And then Maru was playing against someone.
Lean
And he was in big trouble. And
You even remember that.
And the Muslim went, we're casting. And he went, please, Maru, survive. Like,
You know what? I think I've even seen that myself. Yeah.
You know, these guys.
Because it wasn't as much as that. It wasn't like, oh please, but it was kind of a bit of a whelp, wasn't it? It was a little bit.
Mate, I was distraught. I was distraught. I was well into that game, dude. He went 3 CC against getting like 1 base Nidust or something. It was like the most clowny thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, mate, all our hopes rest on you, but yeah, he just didn't deliver. And then he lost against Leenock of all people.
Yep. But that's the thing. I mean, like if you're a Terran fan and if you're a Maru fan, like you keep on being a little bit disappointed every time he goes to an international event because he doesn't make to the finals of BlizzCon for the last 2 years. He's won so many GSLs, and yet, like every time you want to see him do well, when you're here, when you are able to cast him or actually see him in a proper time zone, he messes up a little bit. And against Leenock, it was just what a stupid game.
Actually, so Blaine, one of the coolest storylines recently has been like, when is Cyril, who's been like the absolute beast of the foreign region, is going to go up against Maru. And the thing is, like, every time that they've tried to meet in the final, like at BlizzCon and stuff and GSL versus the World, it's always been Maru getting knocked out before he meets Cyril.
Right.
And then Cyril wins the whole thing. But then they played in a team league game, which was just like a best of one kind of thing. And it was, Maru was there, GSL versus the World. And then Cyril was like, yeah, I'll play against Maru next. And he smashed him 1-0. Like,
what Cyril did?
Yeah. All the haters were like, oh, he's not good enough. He'll never touch Maru, never touch this. And then he then his time to actually play against him, he was like, I'm going to grab it, mate. And then he absolutely dominated him.
Honestly, I love that because when I was playing before, I played Cyril a little bit on the ladder, and I think he was only maybe 14 at the time.
Yeah,
he was
really
still quite young. I don't know how old he is now, but he was still quite young, and he was a good player. You could tell that he was a good player, but he just wasn't quite there yet. But from what I've seen recently of him, he's just been so good, really so good. And the games that he's lost, I think I watched maybe the WCS finals that he lost 4-3.
Oh, against
really close. But it was like the last game. It was so close, and it was like whoever was losing that map was the person that was kind of messing up a little bit, that was making the mistakes. But he's so consistent. I can't actually believe how consistent he is. It's ridiculous.
We've never seen that in the foreign region.
Actually,
even globally, I think there's an argument that nobody has been
definitely.
precise.
we had a really funny conversation earlier. So Stefano was there, and apparently there's a quote about he was only good because everybody else was bad. But the thing is, you watch Cyril now, he's good when everybody else is really good, and he's a little bit better, which is absolutely insane.
At the same time, units are dying.
This game is a clown fiesta. Look at these drones. These drones are not even working.
Yeah,
they were trapped in a stasis ward.
There was a stasis ward, yes.
There's a Protoss army in Lambo's base right now, just having a good time.
Yep. And now those zealots are gonna get.
Oh my god, they're gonna get Evo.
He's gonna get the Evo. And see that Prism just dancing around, just dancing on the drones, and now he's gonna get the +1 attack. That's really great for Zest. Still has a slightly lower unit count, but that's the thing. He's playing against roaches, arguably the worst units for 2 supply. Just you make a lot of them, and it's gonna, make it feel like Lambo is winning this game, but he's not in really good shape right now.
He's basically in shambles. His economy was greatly diminished. This feels like the kind of game where if you're Zest, you can even maybe drop down 5 Stargates and go into carrier and just kind of troll around.
Oh my god. Those stasis wards actually blocking so many drones.
He's been really good with them.
Yep.
Shield battery is going down, actually. He's worried about the counter attack, and I think that's okay to try and be careful. Oh, that's next level. That is
recall.
Next. Oh
Recall.
My god.
He brings the Zealot back. He did his job.
That one will live to tell the story.
If he goes for another stasis ward in the main and it actually connects, that would be amazing. Okay, lots of sentries.
I'm surprised he's moving out because he just used recall.
Yeah,
if this gets isolated and caught. Oh my god.
Maybe he wants to get some of that creep back.
Lambo's doing a really nice job of shutting down this Oracle, though, just making sure it can't do anything. But yeah, Zest, he's on the move out. He's on the warpath. And
is he actually serious, or is he trying to force units?
I don't know. That's a little dangerous, but he might feel super comfortable.
Yeah, there is no creep here. If he just stands in that ramp and force fields well.
And worker-wise, I mean, he can absolutely fall back, right?
Yeah.
Especially after he denies this 4th, so he's already got one objective accomplished.
He's forcing roaches to stay in every basis because of these oracles as well, because the roaches need to be there to kill the stasis ward every time.
Lambo's only making battle units right now, though. No drones in sight whatsoever.
So Zest is doing well, but I feel like this could backfire if his army in the middle of the map gets caught and killed, because then he just gets counter-attacked and dies, most likely. Lambo's only making units, so I think he's counting on that. He's counting on Zest to overextend, kill his army, and then go for the counter. And Zest, I think, very nicely scouts with hallucinations, and then he pulls back with his army. Just seeing that Lambo is massing units, he's like, you know what, I'll just get more Immortals, more Archons.
I mean, pushing through the middle of the map and getting some hallucinated Phoenixes was actually a pretty nice idea. I mean, he did cancel 4th base, and now he goes back to defense mode while...
Oh my god,
Lambo has so many units. What is Zest doing? Zest, he gets caught in the middle. Nice force fields for now to mitigate the mass units that Lambo has on the map. But if those banelings actually connect, it might be really, really rough.
He's using a lot of force fields here to get away, but now Lambo's kind of in this position where he's threatening Zest that he wants to go up to the 3rd, which is kind of what he wants to go for. And Storm's not done yet either.
Yeah, Templars not doing anything.
Yeah, those Templars might... they need to transform into Archons. Our Oracles are coming back. Gonna destroy a couple of Ravagers, but now the Banelings, they connect pretty well on the Sentry. Even Immortals are getting shred right now. Let's see, Archons are getting microed in the Prism. That's really important. And now that new Whopping of Zealots is actually so helpful right now.
Super good Warp Prism micro as well, saving the Immortals from the Biles there. Now he's kind of chasing down Lambo, and I don't feel he needs to. He has survived. And the thing is, the next wave of Zest will also have Storm included, which will help so much.
Yeah, it looked a little scary for a moment, but I think he just didn't panic, and he went and did what he had to do, which is micro properly with his Prism. Just wait a little bit for a new Whopping of Zealots, and that did work wonders. And now Lambo is just doesn't have any really real technology. I think it doesn't even have +1 attack because it was cancelled earlier. So it's like, yeah, he doesn't have anything. He's got baiting speed and roach speed. That's basically it. So I don't see him bringing back that game. He's gonna try, but
well, Zest is only starting +2 now. So realistically, how far ahead is he on tech? Obviously, he's got Storm.
The main thing is it's about Lambo's army just being so tech dead, you know, it's just like hatchery-based units. So.
And remember, he killed a +1 missile earlier.
Yeah.
So there is no upgrades.
It looks dangerous. That army looks dangerous when you look at it because it's pretty massive. Ravagers are pretty huge, and like Corrosive Bile, if it connects, then it can do wonders. But the thing is, Zest is not gonna eat that much.
Yeah, he's positioning so well. And oh my god.
Yeah, see, GG.
Okay.
Sees the charge loss, he's like, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Don't even want to lose everything on my
See, that's as much as I know. I'm like, it's still a close game. Like, it could go either way, but I guess not.
One of the things like there was just like his tech was totally dead, you know, like the supplies were pretty close, but Lambo always felt an attack was coming way earlier. So he built up so much of an army, right, that was just super duper low tech, and the attack never really came. And these push outs by Zest were really smart because they kind of forced Lambo to think like, is an attack coming? Is it coming? And he predicted wrongly. So it was nice that Zest just made Lambo's life way less comfortable than it should be.
The one thing that I did notice about that was kind of Zest's army control.
It's nice,
he kept his oracles alive the whole time. He kept his warp prisms alive the whole time. And that kind of, I felt like that put Lambo on the back foot just because he had to take care of them when Zest was kind of probing up and looking after his own economy, looking after his own tech and storming up. And I felt like he played that pretty perfectly. Just from what I saw, I don't know all the little kind of ins and outs and everything, but it looked like he was in control of the game.
Is there any player that got you gooey before you quit? Like you thought, oh, they're really good?
No.
No, there's no like player that you looked up to or like copied their strategies a little bit or their builds.
You know what? I can't really remember
Really?
I can't remember.
It was like Rain and all these guys.
Top Protoss players back then might have been Rain.
Yeah.
See, when I quit, it was kind of the transition to Legacy of the Void, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I know that
was
the
it
game was...
2015?
Sorry?
You quit around 2015, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
around that
so
time.
Wasn't there like some Korean Protosses that like you had to see their games and stuff? Like Hero or something?
MC maybe.
I can't lie, I've always been a fan of SOS. I don't know what he's doing now. Is he still about?
Yeah,
he's about now.
Still good.
SOS has always been such a solid player to me.
He's the one that actually eliminated Maru at the last BlizzCon. Quarterfinals, he played Maru, his teammate, he 3-0'd him.
Yeah.
And then he got demolished in the semifinals against that. But like SOS is that kind of guy, like he can win against anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got those crazy strategies, he never quits, even though he's in a really, really rough spot, he will like find a way. It's pretty crazy. SOS is still really good. He's one of the like most interesting Protoss around, I think.
Bling beat him at G-Infinity, man.
Ooh, that's... I can do very...
Nice one, Ben.
The very early block. Is that your proudest win? Ever, or is there one proudest win? Was it War of the Roses with the
Yeah, probably War of Roses.
That's your proudest win.
Ninth game. VODs are still probably about in the end.
You know, I remember some of like these games. I think didn't you do like Prism with High Templars in it and Storm?
Dude, we read the
straight up I did.
He was so ahead.
Straight up I did.
He was so ahead of the meta.
I opened up the Bling Liquipedia article, right? Like in front of me. This is when we were talking about Aligulac and stuff. And like the Liquipedia was like gushing all over Bling. It's like, this is the first time that we saw a Protoss fully utilise Warp Prism and a High Templar drop.
It was good though, wasn't it? Was it good?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It was so good that Muslim tried to edit that page himself.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it worked out well at WCS UK as well, Bling.
Yeah,
just saying.
It did, mate. It did.
But this is the thing, we can't chat shit on each other because we're both equal against one another. So it's like, you know, we have our glory moments and stuff.
We can settle the rivalry here.
Right, Ben. So, you know, so when we put those stats up and we was like, whoa, it's 50-50, it's 9-9. What was you most surprised about? Like, you being even or you not being ahead?
Oh, I mean, there was multiple surprises, right? Like, I'm surprised I dropped a series. No, I remember for like a lot of my career, like I was pretty good in TVT and pretty good in TVZ, but TVP, I felt you sneaked up and got the better of me quite a few times. So when I saw it was completely even, I was like, oh, I'll take that, man. I'll take that. You know?
But you know what? As much as you're saying that, I felt like when you brought the results up, I felt like you was going to be ahead.
No way.
Yeah, no, honestly, I really did.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was going to be super easy.
You're 100% against speed.
Yeah, was that?
We only ever met once in 2011, and he won 1-0 in the best of one.
No. But you know that. So this, I don't understand how that's a thing, because I felt like we didn't even play that game. I felt like you just...
No, we played that game. Taldari Malta,
Did we actually play?
I tried to forget, and then I lost.
But I felt like you left prematurely. Like I felt like we didn't actually play out the series. I felt like...
No, I was dead. I tried to forget, and then like you had 2 more stalkers than me. It was over.
Yeah.
It was a stupid map. I didn't want to play it was my veto on ladder, like I think, or like in PvP.
Was that when it was like defensive 4-gate versus aggressive?
It was very broken, man. I know it was. I'll admit that myself.
And usually, like I was the defender, and now Bling wanted to defend. So I was like, oh, I guess I could attack then. And then he killed everything. You're like, I don't know.
You know, one thing always surprised me about Bling. You know, I saw him outside the game, and I was like, this guy's going to play freaking cocky and attack me everywhere. Then I play like the most passive guy ever, waiting for his freaking warp prism with the high Templars, as if it's my little mate Bling coming up with his 6 strat.
Mind games, mate. Mind games. That's what it was.
Okay. So, yeah, DT Shrine's going to go down. So, once again, DT drop into Archon drop. It's going to load up a Stalker. He was able to destroy that Overlord, Zest, that is. And Lambo going up to 3 bases right now, just working on his work accounts. And just going to, try and defend that pretty classic build that's coming from Zest. He didn't do the weird, adaptation that Koreans are doing, which I realized during this HomeStoryCup, which is
3-gate DT?
Just 3-gate DT, which is like kind of weird and actually worked a couple of times, I feel, during the tournaments, which is it comes super early, maybe like 25-30 seconds earlier, which means those DTs can actually deal a little bit of damage. I mean, 1 Archon is still like pretty powerful, but if it doesn't do anything, you're like, okay, maybe that adaptation was not needed, but at least he's trying, and he's doing a lot of stuff with those Stalkers, getting an Overlord here and there, getting the Zerglings, and getting map control all in general, without Stargate, which is nice.
Funka, can you freestyle in English?
A freestyle rap in English?
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good as the French one that I did earlier on.
I was casting in French earlier, one series, and then I asked him and Coca to do a freestyle, and they killed it. They are so good.
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah.
We went for an introduction.
Is that your thing?
Yeah, you never seen the rap song that we released for our last HomeStoryCup. It's called Back to HomeStoryCup. It's pretty great.
No way.
Yeah, it's good.
They killed
it was funny. I love hip hop and I love rap in general.
Where can I find that?
YouTube. I'll show you after that game.
Right,
for now, Lambo is getting owned, dudes. There's DTs in his face. He doesn't have any detection. That Overseer is a little bit late, and even the Roach Warren is going to go down. And
where are these drones dying, though?
I think it's Stalkers. No? What is it? Or maybe another DT on the natural?
In the natural, I think.
What's going on?
Oh, and we close it on Lambo's face here. We're watching the face of a man that's kind of losing all of his drones.
That's rough.
His body parts are being chopped off right now.
Have we seen DTs 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Okay.
Which is unconventional. Like a lot of the time, you're gonna see Archons being morphed early on in spec.
Look at.
So he's kind of playing against the meta a little bit. Is that what he's doing? Would you say?
So DTs are super duper, like they're safe, they're standard. Like they're actually the standard. It's not a surprise strat anymore. But there are definitely other things you can pull out. It's just Zest isn't the guy that like really divvies things up a lot. Like I heard on ladder downstairs, a lot of the players were talking about, hey, have you played Zest on ladder? It's like, yeah, he did this 3-gate DT build like every time kind of thing. So yeah, he just really likes it.
He's bringing the Inca vibe back. Remember Inca used to?
I mean, I can
go DT in every matchup.
Yeah.
I can understand it though. I feel like if you've got DTs, the Zerg's going to kind of want to sit back a little bit and just make sure that they defend everything as efficiently as possible.
I mean, that's the thing. With the new War Prism and the fact that you can turn DTs into Archons, you're not doing something that's kind of cheesy or anything. You're just doing something super stable. But it's around the Dark Shrine, which is kind of counterintuitive, I guess. But that's the thing. That's like a standard build that you can use day in, day out. And he's making it work super well, I mean.
By the way, I think Zest has made this 3rd base in hopes that it gets scouted, just so we can just attack Lambo, hoping to catch him when he's being a bit too greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see Protosses almost ever nowadays breaking 46 walkers early on. They always stay on 46, they make a ton of units. Like the Nexus is almost as if they're already thinking about transferring those probes from the main base, but they don't really need to make more just yet. It's more about making units at this stage in the game, being aggressive, and not letting the Zerg drone as much as they want to, tech as much as
Oh! Kind of cancelled his warping. I was like, I really like this warping.
Yeah.
One DT in the main, the Zealots on the low ground, like that's super
I love
cool.
it, but
No
I mean,
spore, mate. No spore.
Zest is having a field day, dude. It's just doing anything he wants right now, harassing left and right.
Oh, the force field is going to be massive
I
in
think
this
for
choke.
now he only lost a DT ever since the beginning of this game. Like, he's being so precise with his micro. The build order is perfect, and that's gonna be GG. Well played.